Hey guys, welcome back to another review. My name is Dan, and today we're looking at the first 2 episodes of the latest Disney Plus show, WandaVision. So, this is the first time we are seeing Vision since Infinity War, and the first time we're seeing Scarlet Witch, or Wanda Maximoff, since Endgame. And this was a very interesting introduction to where these characters are at this moment. And also, if you have not yet seen the episodes, maybe do not watch these videos, because I am going to be sharing my thoughts on the episodes. And if you don't want to know anything about the episode, then don't watch these videos. Just a disclaimer. But if you have seen the 2 first episodes, I'm glad you're here. Let's talk about these episodes. So we are thrown straight into this location called Westview, where we found Wanda and Vision. And from the get-go, from the first episode, it looks like a 1950s TV sitcom show. It's an ideal suburban lifestyle, and Wanda and Vision have just moved in, and they're trying to get used to life inside this ideal house in this ideal suburb. And there's like a laugh track, there's like the 4:3 aspect ratio, like the shows of that time, and it's all very different to what we've seen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe thus far. And I can definitely say that this, by far, has been the most unique thing that Marvel has done ever. It's like the most, it's different to anything that Marvel has done. It definitely stands on its own in that regard. That is going to be some of my slight criticism on these first episodes just now. But firstly, I do just want to just praise the actual, the technicality of these first 2 episodes. They really did sell it as if these shows were from that era and that time. I really did enjoy the laugh tracks in the first 2 episodes, and that is something that's obviously not in shows at the moment, as far as I know. But it did really work for what the show was going for, what WandaVision was trying to establish. And we sort of get the idea that this is an ideal circumstance, it's an ideal world. And there are a few things here and there that aren't quite right. And Wanda starts to notice a few things, which makes me think, and this is kind of where my theories come in a little bit, is that this, and I'm sure everyone else thinks this as well, I'm not saying this is like an exclusive theory or idea I have. I think probably everyone has this theory, but I'm going to share it anyway. But it kind of makes me think that Wanda is in this in a place here where she's sort of created this reality so she can spend her life with Vision, the life that she couldn't unfortunately get because Thanos ripped the stone out of his head in Infinity War. Anyway, so she establishes this world and this reality. And Sword, who we saw snippets of throughout these first 2 episodes, are an organization trying to get Wanda out of this state because she's potentially creating something extremely dangerous, but she doesn't actually know what she's doing. And I'm excited for where the show goes next. So my slight criticism with these first 2 episodes is, if we look at it exclusively from the point of view of these first 2 episodes of this TV show, these episodes didn't do much, right? Although the sitcom style and that was good technically, I personally didn't gravitate towards the sitcom stuff as well as I was hoping to. Although I did chuckle at times at some of the jokes and that, it wasn't as engaging as I was hoping it would be. For me, it kind of just felt like the show was almost postponing what I wanted to do to just sort of run this sitcom narrative out as long as it could, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think because the show is coming out weekly, it's like it left me wanting a lot more. And if I look at these first 2 episodes, which I did really enjoy, there was just I was just still kind of confused where everything was at the end of these 2. And that would have been fine after the first episode, but even after the second one, I'm kind of okay, cool. We get that they're living in this sort of surreal sitcom lifestyle, but what's actually going to be happening next? And I don't know if that's just my opinion. And look, I did still really enjoy these first 2 episodes, but it does, my enjoyment of them does rely on the fact that I've seen what the MCU has done before, and I kind of am expecting what's coming forward, if that makes sense. Like I kind of think there will be a multiverse thing established through the show, and that's what's keeping me engaged. Like if I wasn't a diehard MCU fan, I don't know if these first 2 episodes would have, gripped me as much, quite frankly. And I don't know. That's just something to think about. However, I am a massive MCU fan, and I think throughout all the films, like although Vision and Wanda have been incredible, like they're really cool characters, we didn't actually get that much of them compared to some of the other characters. And it is great that they have their own show now where we can flesh out these characters more. And then at the end of the second episode, we found out that Wanda is pregnant, which some of the trailers did allude to as well. So I'm really excited to see what happens with that storyline thread going forward. It's going to be great because I feel like they will stick quite close to the comics with that. So she'll have twins, and that's going to be really exciting. And I cannot wait for their inclusion in the MCU going forward as well. And we also get a lot of other side characters introduced in these first 2 episodes. Characters who are kind of speculated will be comic characters down the line. But like, for example, Catherine Hahn, who plays Agnes in the show, she's most likely going to be Agatha Harkness, who's one of the comic characters, and she's like a witch in the comics. So, I mean, I kind of feel like it's a bit of an obvious one at this point, but I mean, she could not be, but that's kind of the way I'm speculating things are going to go. And then there's also another character in this show who is a adult version of one of the characters in the Captain Marvel movie. So seeing her involvement in the show is also kind of interesting because in the comic books that character does have superpowers. She is like a superhero. So it's going to be interesting to see if that actually happens as well going forward in the show. We also know that Nick Fury is now involved with SWORD from the post-credit scenes. I can't remember which movie it was in. Damn, how can I not remember that? But it was in one of the more recent ones. I think it was Spider-Man Far From Home. But he's the director of SWORD as far as I'm aware of at this point. So he's probably somewhere involved in this as well. And this also, I guess, could potentially tie into Secret Invasion down the line. I'm not quite sure. But I'm not going to get too far into speculation and thoughts and theories in this video. To summarize my thoughts on these first 2 episodes, really great, really did enjoy them. Was super interested in the WandaVision stuff and the setup for what's happening in the future of the show, but I wish I was more invested in the actual sitcom aspect of it. Although it was kind of fun seeing Vision and Wanda trying to cook a dinner, which they probably never have done in their lives for guests. So I guess it was kind of cool. Also not quite sure if this is going to be a show that people outside of the MCU fan base are going to gravitate towards. We'll have to wait and see about that, but I think the show could have benefited potentially from actually releasing all 3 episodes, because I hear in the 3rd episode a lot more stuff happens that sort of drives the narrative of the show. So I don't know, maybe it could have benefited from that. But it was an interesting show, and it definitely did capture my attention. I'm very excited to see where the show goes forward. There are a few theories I have that could tie into some of the comic book storylines, which I'm really excited for, and I hope at least some of them are true, because both of these characters have some very interesting comic book arcs. So I really hope we'll see some of that in the show. But I do also just want to praise the show for being bold, and for Marvel and Kevin Feige for being bold. This was a very bold move to go this direction, especially with their first Disney Plus show. And I thought, for me personally, it did really, really well in these first 2 episodes. I'm really excited to see the rest of the show, and it seems like it's going to go in a very interesting direction from what we've seen in these first 2 episodes. So I'm really excited. Guys, let me know what you think of these first 2 episodes of WandaVision in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. And if you do like this sort of content, and if you do want to hear my thoughts on episode 3 next week, please consider liking this video. It helps a bunch. And also subscribing to this channel. We are just past 500 subscribers, and the goal, at least the short-term goal, is to get to 1,000. So every single subscriber is massively helpful to reach that goal. So thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, stay safe out there. Have a great weekend, and bye-bye.